So, you know, if anybody wanted to come up here, say a few words, little rant, something, you know, maybe be respectful of, you know, sometime, you know, of course. But come on up. Here we go. Woo!
Check 1, 2. A number of years ago in Poland, a bunch of police chased my dad out of the country for organizing trade unions peacefully and democratically, and he moved here to escape the garbage you saw at G20, and that was garbage. You know, it was a bunch of guys dressed in black, a lot of them on steroids, a lot of big guys, tough guys, you know, and I don't scare easy, and I don't think a lot of people here scare easy either. So, you know, let them have their $1.5 billion for now, you know, and let them feel tough for now, because more and more people are waking up every day, you know, and I think the biggest mistake they ever made was inventing the internet. So, So, you know what? My dad didn't scare easy, and I didn't scare easy, and they may have run out my dad from his home country, but I ain't going nowhere. I really wish there was some sand right here so I could draw a line right in it and say, cross the line. But they ain't gonna, and there's no sand, so. But that's all I have to say about that, and yeah, it's really awesome to see everyone here. So.
Anybody else? Any lovely ladies want to come up here? You definitely qualify as a lovely lady.
I think one of the things that Canadians are going to have to make up their minds about was whether what we saw in Toronto is an aberration or whether it shows us the essence of this Canadian state and this so-called democracy. I don't think it was an aberration. I think we've seen it before. And it had all the marks of a dirty war. It had all the marks of $1 billion and a year and a half of lead up that we're going to have this violence, and that justifies the smashing of everyone's rights, the smashing of the right to dissent, the criminalization of dissent. The fact that the police can declare one day that they made a law has been made in secret, and then the next day they can say, oh, well, no, there wasn't. That the absolute contempt for any notion of rule of law, absolute contempt for truth, and everyone has spoken again and again about the media on this. But I think we have to really put in perspective what is going on here, because one of the things that struck me about all this, as a lifelong trade unionist, for one thing, one of the things that struck me is this pressure that was put on everyone to condemn the violence. And it just shows to me that they care more about a bloody window or a bloody police car than they do about human life.
Shame! Shame!
Because where do you ever hear the media going into this frenzy that everybody should condemn the violence, that they just murdered people in Afghanistan or in Pakistan, or that the lack of health care and clean water and housing is killing people here in Canada, or that in Haiti they've walked away after doing the same thing there in terms of talking about the need for security, the need for security, the need for security, and the hell with the fact that people need food, water, clothing, housing, and jobs. Woo. So I don't think there's any reason for us to be defensive, because we have seen these things before. We saw them, you know, one of the advantages of being my age is that you've seen a lot of it before. We saw it in Montebello. We saw it at Quebec City. We've seen it again and again. We've seen the dirty police tactics, the fear, the intimidation, and now, oh, you see, there was violence that justifies everything we did. And we just don't buy it. So let's keep ourselves focused on who is the real source of violence in this society, and that this isn't an aberration. This is a call to us that we have to renew this democracy, that we have to build it anew, that these state institutions, that what exists today is never going to provide for the needs and the right of Canadians to decide our future for ourselves together with the people of this world. Thank you.